We now have race 12 marshalling, and I'm going to go through the lineups with you. And again, lane 1 is closest to the shore. Am I still on?
Yeah, your voice is still going.
Is it? Okay. Lane 1 is closest to the shore, and that is the PDBC Blazing Blue Dragons. In lane 2, we have NAGYN. In lane 3, we have KOA. In lane 4, we have Holy Ship. Notice I put a P on that. Holy Ship. And in lane 5, we have Aloha. And as we go through the program, you might sense that there's sort of a Hawaiian connection to many of the team names, and that's not by coincidence. One of the other paddle sports that's become increasingly popular through the last 3 decades has been outrigger canoe, which of course has its roots in the Polynesian Islands, and it has been adopted by many of the clubs throughout Toronto, including the Pickering Dragonboat Club, who just recently purchased an OC6. And for those of you who are new to that sport, OC means outrigger canoe. That's what that stands for. And the 6 obviously is 6 person. Now, they also have OC1s and they have OC2s. And if you have $7,000 burning a hole in your pocket, you can purchase an OC1, and it's about double that for an OC2, but they are fabulous boats, and they kind of open up the entire of Lake Ontario to the paddlers, whereas dragon boaters, unless there's a break wall in front of them, usually try to stick to the rivers and the bays, and we're very lucky out here in Pickering that we have this beautiful body of water, Frenchman's Bay, and where we've held this wonderful regatta for the past 3 decades. Bit of a longer wait for the race to get lined up. And again, now, because I think we can say with some certainty that this has turned into a tailwind, now it's going to be a different race sequence. We are going to have people come up and come to the line, and instead of burying their blades, getting their blades deep so that they do not slip back, you'll see crews try to cheat out a little bit, not cheat, but try to maximize their efficiency by taking the paddles out of the water and getting a little bit of a running start on that first stroke. Once the race is in progress, again, the stroke is going to change. We're going to go from a stroke in a headwind that would be very deep, very long in the water, very short in the air, to a stroke that's a bit more compact and a recovery that's a bit more extended so that the boat can run in between strokes. That you might, and you will probably see an increase in stroke rate as well. Welcome back, everyone. We are still getting race 12 lined up at the start line. And with this moment, I'm very pleased to be joined by another person who has had a life in paddling. And can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, I'm Jan Wilkes. I have been paddling for 20 years. Started off at a senior A, and now I'm a senior C.
And for the audience, some people will know what that means, Jan. And can you flesh out to them what's the difference between a senior A and a senior C?
Senior A is 49 and under. Senior B is 49, 49. Senior C is 59.
59.
And over.
There we go. And so you came to the sport at a time in your life when I think a lot of people come to the sport. And can you tell me, obviously it had a great impact on you. What has kept you in the sport? What is it that you love about dragon boats so much?
So I've had a lot of trauma in my life in the last 10 years, and Pickering especially has been another family for me, and anytime I needed anything done, they're here for me. Plus it's the physical fitness and just being on the water.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you've found such a community in dragon boat. And again, I was talking with Ian Grinnell earlier about how he said that dragon boat saved his life from a physical standpoint. But I think you're right. I think being out on the water in this beautiful environment also saves our spirit. Would you agree with that?
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Yeah. Jen, normally I would say, but would you like to help me call this next race? And you can tell the audience what it is you're seeing. You're seeing a vantage point that you normally don't see for a race, and that's the bird's eye view. And I'm going to set up the lanes for you. And again, the lanes closest to the yacht club is lane 1, and that's the shore. And so we have in lane 1, PDBC Blazing Blue Dragons. In lane 2, NAGYN. In lane 3, Koa. In lane 4, Holy Ship. And in lane 5, Aloha. Jan, can you give us some inside information on the PDBC Blazing Blue Dragons?
I believe the Blue Dragons are a twice-a-week crew, so they're experienced paddlers, but they don't want to go highly competitive. They're in it for the fun.
Yes, as we're all in it for the fun. I mean, even if we're... And you can see a lot of them are over the start line now, but I think the starter made the right call there. I've always been the believer, Jan, and I think you would agree with me that as long as all boats are fair, let's get this race rocking. Wouldn't you agree?
Right. I noticed one of the boats is missing 2 paddlers, and they've taken them out of the middle, so that seems interesting.
Yes, and that's Holy Ship. And so you can, in fact, can you tell the viewing audience how many, I haven't said this yet, how many people does a dragon boat hold?
A boat holds 22 if you count the steer and the drummer.
That's correct. And as we said, lane 4 doesn't have a full crew, but it is possible, as I understand it, to race with a crew of 16 paddlers. As long as you have 16 paddlers, you can go.
When I was at Club Crew Worlds in 2014, I believe, in Ravenna, it was so windy that they actually went out with 18, and then once we got down into Marshland, they took 2 more out. So we were paddling with 16.
Sometimes fewer paddlers does allow for greater efficiency. Jan, on the screen, you can see that lane 5, Aloha. I said that there's a connection to the Hawaiian culture, and boy, they look like they have channeled that Hawaiian culture because they are paddling beautifully, and they've opened up, I would say, maybe we're on our way to a boat of open water. So congratulations for them. In second place, we have Koa. Holy Ship, as you said, even though they're missing 2 paddlers, they're paddling a very strong third. And NAGYN and PDBC Blazing Blue Dragons are battling for 4th. But as we come across the last set of buoys, which is 100 meters to go, it's clear that it's Aloha in front, and they are stretching out beautifully. And in lane 3, we have Koa paddling a very strong race, followed by Holy Ship in lane 4. And this is going to be a real battle of wills here between PDBC Blazing Blue Dragons and NAGYN. As you come into the last 100 meters, Jan, what are you thinking as an athlete? What's going through your mind? You're obviously exhausted. What else are you thinking about?
That's when the fitness really comes in, and the rate goes up a little bit, the power goes up, and you're just trying to, if you can, pass anybody and just put a lot on the paddle, stay in time, don't spin, what we call spinning, where you're not catching any water and you're just going fast. So you're just trying to finish strong.
Exactly, and
and not die.
It's easy for us as we sit here in the booth to talk about what it is to do. I know you do it Have you raced today? Can you tell the viewing audience what you've done today in terms of races?
I have done 2 200s and 1 500, and I have another 500 to go.
And do you have a favorite in terms of the different races? Right now we compete at this regatta at least in 200, 500, and 2K. Is there a favorite distance that you have when you paddle?
2K for me. The longer I paddle, the stronger I get. So.
It's funny. You would think. I think that answer shared by a number of paddlers. You would think when you're new to the sport that 2K would be dreadful, but there's a rhythm that takes over in the 2K that really makes it an enjoyable race. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's so much fun. Especially I sit at the back of the boat, so if there's any demolition derbies going on, I'm taking the brunt of the punishment, which is awesome.
Jan, thank you so much for dropping by, and continued success today and throughout the season.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay, have a great one.